I'm going to be married 20 years next month. When you're in a relationship, you finally figure out basically the simplest way to deal with your wife is just agree with her.
Agree with her. But what if it's something you really disagree with? You just don't want that, whatever it might be. Do you still agree? Or like, when do you decide when to push back?
I don't know. I typically agree. Unless it means it's going to cost me a lot of money. I'll cry poverty, but...
But you're fine bending your principles? Of like...
It had to be something really serious. I mean, listen, every relationship is different, I mean, me and my wife are 100% opposite. There is not one thing in common between me and my wife.
How did it work out in the first place?
Because maybe being opposites really works. I don't know. Like, my wife's a lot younger than me. So she likes to, do everything a younger person likes to do. She likes to party. She likes to, have a good time, which I used to do, but I'm older now. She likes to go running. She likes to work out. She plays tennis. She worries about things that I could care less about, what we're eating, or, we're opposite in every possible way you can imagine. Okay? And somehow it works.
What bonded you two together then? Was it physical attraction and then everything else followed suit?
Well, for me, it was physical. I don't know if it was for her. I think it was physical for me, and she saw opportunity with me, but, I mean, I don't know. All I know is that, we've been accepting each other and putting up with each other for almost 20 years. And, her world is totally different than mine. Totally different. We don't work together. I don't get involved with her world, with the house, the kids, or the day-to-day stuff. And I focus on making money, and we enjoy a lot of time together.
What do you guys do together?
Oh, I mean, we got, we go out on a boat. We'll take the boat all over the Bahamas. We'll take trips. We do whatever, go out to dinner. We go to parties, whatever. I mean, we have a social life, and but we're total opposites, Can you see me playing tennis? Come on.
So you just agree with the wife in the situation.
But she also agrees with me. It's like she's got her department and I got my department. Okay, she's not going to come in and say, okay, listen, you need to sell that hotel. It's not going to happen. She's not going to, she's not going to cross into a world that
Has
she's
she ever
not part of.
tried?
No, I don't recall her ever.
Like a house?
Like she sees something stressing you out for a while.
We just bought her sister a house.
Yeah.
Okay, because we sold a hotel in Fort Lauderdale. Her sister's moving back home. She's taking over all my beach property hotels. And we need to find a sister a house. So, to me, I told my wife to handle it. Well, of course, that didn't work so good. But, because her sister wanted one thing, she wants another. It's not good enough for my sister, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, I told my wife, listen, do it, whatever you feel best as far as a house is I go along with, so.
Why not rent the house? This is the one for 1.2?
Yeah. Renting a house is just, I don't know. It just, if I would have rented the house, a house like that in that neighborhood, it probably would have cost me at least $6-7 a month, probably.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a big house. I mean, the house is like 4,500 square feet. She's got 4 children, and we're pretty much on the level where, and her sister's like her sister's my daughter, basically. I raised her like my daughter.
Okay.
So, when it comes to your kids, it does get emotional with real estate because you want your kids to live somewhere nice. All my kids live in big, beautiful homes, which they're entitled to. They deserve it, So, she should have her own home. And, renting her a house would be this is more of a permanent thing, too.
Yeah, got
It's
it.
not like a temporary situation. Typically, I would always rent.
Yeah.
If she's living here for a year or there for 2 years, I'll rent her a house. But in this situation, we're trying to get her stable and, more permanent. So we bought the house. And I got a good deal on it. I'm happy with the price we paid. It was on the market for $1.5 million. We paid $1.2 million. And it came fully furnished and everything, really quality. And everybody lived happily ever after. And I agreed with my wife on the house that she thought we should buy, so we're all happy.
Seems like you really don't like having lasting issues or things that you're not content with. Like you just like to, all right, let's figure it out, let's move on, fine, that's good.
And then every day I got different fires to put out. I'm constantly waking up every morning putting fires out. Okay, figuring out what are the problems right now that we're facing. What do I got to do to solve them? And that's what I do for a living, managing a portfolio.
How did you meet your wife?
Family was the caretakers in probably the most dangerous building in Oakland, California at the time that nobody wanted to buy. I used to buy all the rough stuff that nobody else wanted because that's the only place I can get in, No competition, cheaper price, So she lived in a very, very tough building, and I bought it. It was a foreclosure, and it was 14 apartments that stretched the whole city block. And her family were like the caretakers there, which nobody else lived in the building but them. At the point when I bought it, there was nobody else living there but them, and I could have told them to leave, but, I met her grandfather and her family, and she was very young. We weren't dating, when she was very young. But I met her family, and the family started helping me fix up the building. Her grandfather was a roofer. Oh, well, let's fix the roof. But he couldn't fix the roof while he was there because there was no money to fix the roof. Well, I came in, I bought the building. I got some money for materials and to pay him some labor. He started helping me fix the roof. Or, when you marry a Mexican, you inherit 15 family members. It's just the way it is. And they all work for me, and they all help me, accomplish a lot of things. So, next thing you know, we're fixing up all the apartments, we're painting them, we're cleaning them, the women are cleaning, the guys are painting, we're fixing this, we're doing that, we're renting them out to Section 8, and we got that building turned around. I paid $250,000 for that building, 14 units. You do the math. What's that, 20 grand a door?
Yeah.
Less than that. I probably put like 5 back then, not even a few grand a door into them. I sold the place for $1 million eventually. But it was a very dangerous place. But we cleaned up the area too, and we used our management skills to make it a garbage to gold. And and then as she got older, we
You just stayed close with with her and her family and stuff like
her
that.
family became very close to me because we worked for me. We worked together every day. And then she matured into a young woman, and we had the attraction, and we got married.
So,
and,
but like, when did you ask her on a first date? Like, how did that even come up in a conversation where you said, "Hey"?
She actually pursued me.
She did.
Yeah. She'll deny it, but she pursued me. I
How did that
remember.
happen?
I kind of remember when I seen a twinkle in her eye. We finally got the building all rented, and my partner, I had a partner then too. He didn't want to buy the building. He was afraid to, but I told him, listen, I can handle it. And then I had him come back and take a second look after we got rid of all the criminal activity around there and stuff. Anyway, we got the building rented. The building had a laundry room. And my partner, even though he had all these millions of dollars, he got some kind of personal thrill of me and him going around, all right, in his big fancy Mercedes, whatever he was driving that day, and taking the money out of the damn laundry machines.
Yes.
Bags of quarters. He loved it. And I loved it too because I didn't have much money and half the money was mine. So it was like a tradition. We go around all our buildings. We had, a few, some were his, some were mine, some were partners, whatever. Anyway, we go around one day every other week and we collect all these bags of money and then we take them to the bank and put them in the machine. They count them up and we'd have some cash, or whatever, deposit, whatever. Anyway, the long story short, I remember I seen a twinkle in her eye, because let's face it, I was very poor back then, and she was very poor, when she saw me carrying those bags of money.
That's what did it.
I think so. One day I dropped the bag, and the quarters were everywhere. All these kids in the rough neighborhood were trying to
and
get
that's
my
what
quarters.
sparked it. She saw that.
She came down and protected me.
Was she picking up quarters too?
Yeah, but she was giving them to me. And, hey, listen, we both came from a very, very tough place and very, very poor place, and we struggled together for a while, but it was great. We made it.
That's cool that you've acquired all of this wealth with her. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you don't see that a lot. It's more of a rare thing where you got this, like, the
I
age,
acquire it and she spends it.
but the age difference, with the wealth and everything.
Listen, everybody's different. It worked for us. It doesn't work for everybody, but it works for us. And we, she's helped me raise, children from previous. I helped raise her daughter. Her sister. It's been a weird situation, but we both always work together and try to do the right thing for everybody.
Is there anything you guys disagree about? Or for the most part, do you just agree with whatever she wants?
No, we disagree. Everybody has disagreements, but nothing that serious, you know, she might want to buy a $6 million yacht, and I'd rather find a bargain that's worth, I can buy for two, that's worth maybe 3 or 4. And yeah, we have our little disagreements, but we always work it out. We always find a middle ground. We always find a meeting place. You know, she's always going to complain about what I'm eating, but, you know, that's good for me.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you need to eat a little bit healthier for her, or is it all just?
Well, I need to take care of myself so I can, you know, do it for everybody else, you know. And then, you know, she's the drinker and I'm not. We're opposites. I don't drink. She drinks.
Why do you not drink?
It puts me to sleep.
That's what
You
that's
know?
what it does to me
Let's
too.
be
I get
asleep.
so
Vodka
tired.
Red Bull.
She starts
No.
drinking tequila and she's drinking margaritas and all. She's ready to party, baby. You know, me, I'm, you know, I mean.